Hey everybody, this is Kim, and I'm not showing up. Let me fix it. This is Kim with Kim's Creations and Card Ministries, coming to you live Friday night, March 29th, 2024. I had some distractions, cats and dogs and all sorts of things going on here, so I apologize for that. And then my camera fussed at me because I hadn't switched the settings to go horizontal instead of vertical, so I apologize. And also, there's no excuses. Just life gets in the way sometimes, and I haven't been able to do as much as I had hoped to. I always or am over ambitious and over plan, and so then I don't get done what I want done. But that's okay. Um, those of you that have followed me probably have figured that out already. But I know last time I was on, I don't know if it was a video or a live, but I did. I was experimenting with putting my first junk journal signature into a journal cover. And anyway, I've done my cover. I don't know if I was doing that online. I can't remember if I was actually showing y'all the cover. I know y'all seen part of the signature, and I remember showing y'all how outrageously too big it was, and I was trying to figure out how I was going to deal with that. But anyway, I did get it into a cover. Um, and for now, it's going to stay there, and I'm not going to do anything with it because I can't really add anything to it. It's just too big. So I am going to have to go back and do something to adjust it at some point. But I'm going to keep this cover. I'm not going to use it. I'm still planning on using the cover. But I think I'm going to try to, it'll take some time, but I'm going to divide this down into at least 2 or maybe 3 signatures. But anyway, I'm going to show you the finished product. And I'll show you, I had a class. I think I told you I was having a class. I'll show you a little bit about what we did in our class, and then we'll finish putting together one that I've started that has 3 signatures in it. Yay, 3 signatures. But I haven't really done any decorating to it, maybe just a tad. So again, Kim O'Brien, I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, and I'm still doing my Stampin' Up! Things, and a lot of the products that I'm using to decorate and to accent my journals is Stampin' Up! Products, although I am using some retired things as well. But I kind of got on a junk journal, tangent there. So I'm working on these. But, and I know I said I was going to try to show y'all some more of the alternatives on that last paper pumpkin kit I was working on. So I'll try to get those done this weekend as well. So you can see them. There's still time to do a few Easter cards. My family, and it threw me off too, because my family, we're not actually celebrating our family Easter until the 6th, which is a week from tomorrow. So that kind of threw me off too. I was thinking, oh, I have time. It's not Easter yet. I was wrong. Anyway, let me put the camera down and I can show you what I've got. And I have no idea if I have my paper still that says this might say what my host code is. There it is. There's my host code. I'm pretty sure this is my March host code for Stampin' Up! All right, so I'm going to take the camera down and I can show you what we got here. And there's all my lovely punches that I love punches. And I'm using I'm using them a good bit in my junk journals. And I need to check and see if I'm showing up on my iPad. So let me do that too. Y'all can see my iPad there for a minute. Video, no, live. I think that's me right there. So let me do that too. Turn that volume down. Y'all can see. Okay, and that way I can make sure I keep my screen visible. I don't have it on here anymore. I used to put my Facebook page. If y'all could go check out my Facebook page also. I'm going to try to do a better job of keeping up with everything. My mom hadn't been feeling good off and on, so we've made some appointments for her again, but hopefully I'll still be able to get some things done. But my Facebook is Kim's Creations, Kim apostrophe S, Creations with the K, Kim's Creations, and the and sign Card Ministry. So y'all can find me there on Facebook. All right, so here is the big gator mouth that I put in one signature. And like I said, I easily could have done at least 2 and probably 3 signatures, and it would have been more manageable and probably fit a little better. It's still going to be a gator mouth, but it would be easier to turn pages and stuff like that. I did do a little bit more decorating in it to kind of finish off the decorating part. But again, I was planning on adding paper, pictures, photos, and news articles to this, and I just don't feel like I can do that in its current condition. It's just too hard to kind of get to the pages. But here's my cover. This is a piece of a pillowcase that I just got at the one of the thrift shops. And this is also a piece of a pillowcase that I tore a strip of it off. So I stamped this with Stampin' Up! Stamps, and I didn't change the color. I just left it that color that it was naturally, which was kind of an off-white. It wasn't a stark white. And then I stamped this, and I said, oh, I know I want to use that on my cover. And then I had put my cover, I'd done a, and y'all saw me make the card. I made it out of those cardboard pieces that come in the paper pumpkin kits, and then the cereal box is the spine. I know I did that on my last video. But this one, then I went in and I decorated. And let me just say, it's easier to decorate before you put it together if you know what you're going to do to decorate your cover ahead of time. But I managed to do a pretty decent job stamping on my cover, even though it was already on the book. I haven't done anything on my spine yet, so you can kind of still see cereal box right there. But I'm planning on doing something on the spine. But here's the back. The front is very similar, but I've got part of it covered up with that piece. So, and these are old Stampin' Up! Stamps. All of these are older stamps, I think. That one might be too. But I love this little squiggly thing. As a matter of fact, I think I'm going to use that again on some ephemera. So here's the front. And so when we open it up, that comes into the inside as well. And I don't remember if I had this done last time I showed you, but then I added March 2024, which is when I basically finished the journal. Before, excuse me, before making edits to it and making it more useful. Some things that I have not done yet. I have not covered these paper clips, which I did plan on doing. See, it's just hard to turn the pages when you've got that many crammed in one signature. And so it would be really difficult for me to add photos or anything to the pockets. I don't know why I do. It's probably the pollen. Hang on. Let me get a sip of my drink. My son visited for a very short visit. He came in last night and I had windows open. He said, don't you think you should close these windows? The pollen's really bad. He's right. So he closed my windows. I added some of this lace here. I actually just got that at the Dollar Tree. I thought it was really pretty. So that was something that I had added. But most of this stuff I think was already in there until I get towards the back. And then I added some pieces, I think. There might be a little bit of ephemera. And there's another paper clip I need to finish. Trying to think. I was thinking I was going to do something there, but I didn't. Another paper clip spot. I don't know if I showed you my little writing journal, little tiny, a mini journal there that you can write in. Another paper clip I need to cover. I like how this turned out a lot. That's a piece of watercolor paper that I had played with. And then I put, so the background's the watercolor, and I had put a piece of book page on it, and I had cut these flowers out of one of the papers that was, I think it's been on online exclusive. Last time I looked, it was still there. I don't know if it is or not. Another paper, well, yeah, another paper clip. Some more lace. Another paper clip. Hadn't decided what I was doing on that one yet. This little corner tuck, a top corner tuck. Here we go. So this is a certificate that my mom got in school. I think it was like for a spelling bee or something. A little doily. Just another little tuck in that pocket. I'm going to have another paper clip here. Or I might just leave it a paper clip to hold something in place. And this was a little certificate that my dad got when he was in school. I think it was for playing basketball or something. So these are all pretty old. This is from 1950. So I tried to add a couple little masculine things in it as well. Another, actually this isn't a card, this is not a clip. This is an over, you call it an over, just an overhang or something. You can just do something that you can just hang over the top. But I put a clip there to kind of hold it in place. Just because I've got so much in here, I don't want things falling out. So it hangs on the other side as well. Here's another, this was a pocket from an envelope. The other side of it. Got some tucks in here. Did this little tag. Just a cute little journaling card, which actually there's not a place to journal on it, but you could put a picture on it. And let's see, I did leave journaling space on that one, and I put the little fat cat on that one. Thought it was cute. And then the stamps are pretty. And the belly band. And then I did this one so that when I tuck the card in it, part of the tag hangs over the edge and it matches this. Yeah, these are some of the ones I added because these were some of the pockets out of book pages that I did later that I learned to do. And added them to have something different in the second half of my book. There's another one that's a little different than that one. Oops, I lost this little tiny ephemera that I got probably from Tracy Fox. That one's just this little book fold thing. So you got this little side pocket here, and you got this pocket here. You got this pocket up here, and you have a pocket here on the side. Now, because of the slant, you know, it really can't be huge. It could be longer than this if it were more narrow, but since it's kind of deeper, I couldn't make it really any longer. And then there's my paper bag. So my paper bag also has a tuck. And this is something that I made like an envelope kind of a thing with book pages. And I was thinking this could put photos in it, or you could add some papers to it for journals, or just slip some other writing in there, or cards or something. Here's the other side of this pocket, of the grocery bag rather. And I put another pocket here with just some scrapbook paper. There's some more ephemera, and I don't remember if that one's Tracy Fox or somebody else, but all I did was cut it out and put it on a piece of thin cardstock. And another card that you could add a photo to, possibly. There's that book page that came out of my husband's old elementary school book, and on this side of it I stamped it. I don't know if I've shown you this. Okay, so this page I decided to fold over part of my page, and then I stamped it here to coordinate with this over here, and then I stamped the inside. I also stamped that on the inside. I thought that turned out really pretty. That's, oh, I can't remember what that stamp set's called. It's currently regular. I don't know if it's retiring or not. I can't remember. Here is a little folio that I put together. It's got a back pocket, so I've got it to where you can pull it out. You can close it different direct ways. So there's a pocket there, and then a pocket on this side, a long one. Then there's 3 pockets here, and I just didn't put anything in them yet because I thought I might put pictures or news articles or something like that in them. So there's that, and then, like I said, I just closed this over it and then kind of held it in place with a little paper clip. And I may or may not decorate that paper clip. Then there's a writing spot, and this is one of my favorite stamp sets with the giraffe on it. Here's another page. This is a scrap piece of paper. It's an older Stampin' Up! Paper. I'm trying to use up some of my old stuff. And then I just decided to put a book page in here and stamp to kind of coordinate with this. Another, just a little card I tucked in here that you can put a photo or something on. A triple pocket here. Oh, it's a double pocket. 1, 2. Yeah, it's just 2 pockets. And I thought this little tiny piece of ephemera was perfect right there. Here's another pocket that I just took this piece of paper that's on the back. This piece of paper came out of that school book that was my husband. It was one of those front pages that doesn't have hardly anything on it. And here's another one of those little pocket things that I made. And I decided, rather than gluing this one into my book, because it has a back pocket, to just chuck it into something else. But I just put this little piece of paper you could write on it. There's another tiny piece of ephemera. This just flips up, and there's another pocket hiding under there with a little tiny piece of ephemera. So it's got some cute little surprises in it. And then I also had in this pocket, this is one of my favorite stamps, this little bird. I just think that bird is the cutest little thing. He's easy to color. Just something you could put a photograph or something on it. Stick that all back in there. And then I had stamped this and decided not to use it on a card. So it was pretty, and the color kind of matched. So I just put it in there so I could write on that or put a photo there. This little booklet is just a little booklet with pages, so you can write on it. There's that paper again where I cut those pretty flowers out of it. So it's got several pages in it. So you can just write on that and stick it back in here. You could write on this, or you could put pictures. This has not got a pocket or anything, but it's just a pretty page if you wanted to put photos on here or anything. And then put him on here for just cute, but he's got a place to journal on the back. Another pocket, backside of an envelope. Finally got some music paper in here. Got some journal space on the back of that one. Again, you could always put a photo here. There's another one of these little pockets with the book page. So there's a pocket there, and a pocket back here. I don't know. I tried to put stuff in all the pockets, so that might just be those 2. This is a belly band, kind of a big belly band. And these are just made from old scrapbook papers and book pages. That one and this one. And then this, again, was some ephemera that I got free. There's several, Tracy Fox does a lot of freebies, and there's several other creators on YouTube that have, you can go to their Ko-fi or Ko-fi, I don't know, I'm not sure how to pronounce it, sites, or maybe it's coffee, it's Ko-fi. and they'll have free things on there that you can get. And here's another one. I stamped that back page and then put this over it, a little card in there. Another piece of ephemera that I got off of somebody's site. It's got a bird on it, so I also stuck bird here. And then this is just a little corner tuck, a top corner tuck. Here's another little tiny envelope, pocket. And I thought this paper was cute with the bicycles. That's just a newspaper one. Those are both great for putting photos. Here's another corner tuck pocket. Here's a little notepad in this one. And then just this little tiny piece. And then here's like a bigger, like a bookmark, but it's got blank on the back, so you could put writing or photos or something on it. And then getting towards the end, another belly band with somebody's ephemera with the birds again. And then this page, got a pocket again, and I use that paper again on the back side of that. Here's the last page. I kind of left it blank here because when I do a final finish, I might write something there. This is like what they call a snippet, where you take a bunch of scraps and lay them on something and then just put it in there for that final page. And there's that book. Giant gator mouth that needs to be reworked. But I thought it turned out beautiful. Ivy, you're not supposed to be there. I don't have my water bottle with me. We've got a water bottle and it has helped. Ivy, you're not supposed to be up here. There's too much stuff you can lose of mommy's, okay? Nope, don't scratch me. Okay, you'll come say hi to the camera? Walk in here so they can see you getting so big. Here, I'm going to flip you over so they can see your pretty face. Say hi, Ivy. Ivy, look up here. She wants to go after the ribbon on my journal. That's what she always wants. So, yeah, that just came untied, and I'm going to have to tie that back. I'm going to go put this away real quick so she won't destroy it, because she will. Oh, she hasn't ventured up there yet. Hopefully she won't. Okay, so my class last week, we made a small, I say a small, it's not that small. We made a single signature journal, a very simple one with a paper envelope, I think they're 9 by 12 or something envelopes. And we put one signature in it. We didn't do anything special like adding a binding page because it was just one signature. I think there's 8 or 9 pages in here. And we made one side of it a tuck because, you know, an envelope is an envelope. So we did do that on the one side. And we reinforced this with some duct tape since we're sticking the needle through it to bind it together. And it's got some pages in it that some of the pages I copy dyed. Some of the pages were just pieces of paper I had laying around the house. So we just kind of mixed it up a little bit. There's a Chick-fil-A bag. Some of it's paper I got around the house. Some of it's just copy paper that I dyed, coffee stain dyed. Ivy, that's probably not good for you. Some of the papers had tears, so I just covered them up with washi tape to keep them from tearing anymore, and they may end up getting covered. Here is a page that I did. I used a bunch of scrap paper on top of a book page. Actually, it might have been 2 pieces of book page just to keep it a little sturdier without it getting too thick. And I'm going to put something up here to cover where I stapled it together. But I put just pages in here that you could write on. Just took copy paper and cut them up to fit in here. So I did that one little decorating. I'm just trying to see what what she's getting into. So here are... So this is really all I did to this booklet. So I still need to decorate it and put some things in it. So let me count how many pages I actually put in here. 1, 2, 3. If you count the bag, it's 4 with the pocket. Actually, I think I put pockets on both sides. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 8 pages. Because if I decorate this like I decorated the other one, this is going to be a little bit of a chunky book. 8 pages is plenty. I might even need to go back down to 7. So I was going to go back and check. I think I made my Chick-fil-A bag. Okay, yes, I did. So I cut off the bottom here, made this a pocket also. And I left this little flap to be a pocket. And I think that whole thing is supposed to be a little bit too much glue. So I was gluing the inside a little bit because it was kind of coming the bag. When you start going on the insides of the bag, there's pieces sticking all over the place that things get stuck on. But anyway, so there's that one. And I'll work on this. I'm thinking about making these just for friends to give them to them. And I actually got lucky the other day at work. I acquired some of these envelopes that had gotten messed up and they'd already been packaged and ready to ship out. And then they realized there was something wrong. So they had to tear them open and take something out of them. So I've got a handful of, actually, and they have bubbles inside of them. So they're soft. They'll be softer. And that I can use to make these smaller journals out of. But for starting out, this is a good beginner's journal. You just get the things in there. You learn how to put the signatures in. So this is kind of like my beginning journal. And then after we finished this, I showed them how to make some of those little envelopes out of the book pages that I had done, that I showed you there towards the end of that last journal I did. Some of those little envelopes, we did those. And then we started working on a little bit more intricate journal, which is going to be like this one. Okay. And so this one, again, was made with a cereal box. I covered it with a pillowcase or a piece of sheet or something like that. I dyed it, and this time I inked it before I glued it on so that I was able to ink the whole thing, and got pretty good, except for like right there. I got pretty good images too, although that other one really turned out well. Now, again, you know, you learn by doing. I only used one layer of cardboard, so it's not flimsy, but it's not as stiff as I would like it to be. So in a minute, I'm going to show you another one that I made. When we made them in the class, we doubled it up because this was kind of like my prototype for the class. But anyway, and it's got 3 signatures. You can see, if you look at it from this direction, you can plainly see the 3 signatures. So the ladies that came to my class, I showed them how to put together the 3 signatures, and we're going to do that in here too. And then they were going to go home and try to finish their covers. I think they were mostly finished when the covers when they left the class, but they all just decided they'd go home and try to put them together at home. Again, some dyed papers, some just a variety of papers that I had at the here at the house. To save time, I went ahead and laid out papers. This came out of an old atlas that my grandmother gave my mom and dad back in the 50s. I used a little card that was just laying around, some extra cards I had. Somebody had sent me for Easter. I just thought the little chick was cute. And I can cover this up, the writing on that side of it. So this is the first signature. And this was the atlas paper that was in there. And like I said, varieties of papers. Let me see how many I put in this one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So these signatures, I think, all have 9 in them. We'll find out. Again, it may have been too much, or I might just have to be a little more cautious about putting too much in these. So the second signature is a little bit different. I'd still put a variety of papers in there, This one also has another atlas sheet because the atlas sheets were very large, so they ended up being 2 pieces. I've got my son's dog, so she's over there crying about something. She wants Ivy to play with her, and Ivy doesn't want to play with her, so now Ivy's getting the treatment that she gives to Brody all the time, so it's kind of funny. But they're all sweet. There's, I think this was an envelope, and I cut it on the side for a pocket. It's varieties of papers again. That one I probably need to doctor with some washi tape. I put a tuck on that side of the envelope as well. Okay, and there's the other side of the atlas page, and this is the end of this one, and then the third signature. This one has a coloring page in it, so somebody could choose to color that if they wanted to. Here's a paper bag with a pocket on this side. If you decide to do something with a paper bag and you're going to cut it and glue it and stuff, like I did these, you'll want to do that early so it can be drying while you're doing everything else. Now, the ladies that came to my class, they did sponge the edges of theirs with different colors. Some of them went vintage, some of them went with a brighter color. I was just trying to get mine in the book so they could see how to do it. So mine did not get colored. But I may leave them. You don't have to do that. You don't have to do anything to your edges if you don't want to. Here's the middle of that one. And we'll have the other side of the coloring book and the grocery bag. Little bag right here. Again, did I put a pocket? Yeah. Probably didn't babysit it. Okay, good. It's not stuck together. And then the little short pocket right here. And then there's my coloring page. And you could leave that for somebody else to color, or you could color it yourself. There we go, there we go, and there we go. So, there's this one. Again, I should have doubled up on my cardboard, but that's okay. That's fine. That's not a big deal. And, I'm probably just going to keep this journal for myself. I might, because I left these long and I did it on the outside this time instead of the inside. On this one, I did the other two inside when I tied them off. But on this one here on top, I left the stuff outside so I could put some little beads or charms or something on it. I hadn't decided how I'm going to do it yet. And I left this one in the middle kind of long, so I could technically do something with this one too if I wanted to, because it's kind of long. All right. And everybody that came to my class, to come to my beginner class, they got a nice goodie bag with items that they would need to help them put together a journal. All right, so now when I did this one, now I did journal number, the next one, and with the updated, doubled my cereal box. So you can see this one kind of pushing in right there. Oh, and I used bubble wrap because it's kind of soft. This one has some bubble wrap in it too, but you see that one bending? This one doesn't bend quite as much. It's got double cardstock, so it's a whole lot more rigid than this one is. It doesn't bend quite as easily. So that's the difference between these two. Again, I didn't decorate this one ahead of time because I wanted to go ahead and get the signatures done so I could show y'all how to put them in. To put 3 signatures in. I guess I should have started y'all with a 1 signature too. This one's pretty much ready to go. I have 3 that I'm going to put in. Here's the first 2, or I really don't remember what order they are. I got the paper somewhere here to do the 3rd one. So I haven't done the 3rd signature yet, so I was going to show you how I do my signatures. So I picked out my papers, and I believe we said 9 pieces. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 pieces of paper. And first thing you do is you fold, well, let me take that back for a minute. Yeah, I think I folded them first. These have to be cut down so that they'll fit inside my little book, because they're too long for 8.5. They need to be closer to 6, I believe. This one's a little bit kind of wrinkly and stuff, but that's okay. It kind of gives it an old look. So I'll go ahead and fold all of them in half. This one gets the coloring page. So it's the signature with the coloring page in it. And then some other, like I said, just other sorted papers. Harley, what you doing over there, girl? You wanting to play with the kitty and she's not playing with you? Coloring page. I should put my glasses on. I just realized I'm having a little bit trouble seeing to do this. Let me put them on here. And then okay, so for the paper bag, and of course I haven't glued it yet either, so let me do that next because that's got to dry. Let's see. All right, so what I did, just so this edge, because sometimes these edges are kind of messed up after you've brought them home and all that stuff from the place that you got them from, in this case Chick-fil-A. So I'm gonna cut this off just to kind of get the old raggedy top that's been messed with a bunch out of the way. And I can put a new thumb notch in it. That's not that big a deal. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to take off a thin strip here so I can have an additional pocket on my bag. And then I'll show you what I mean about the inside. And different bags are going to be different on the inside. Just depends on how they're made. Let's see. So this one, you got these assorted pieces that are kind of like sticking up and such. So what I did was I tried to glue them so they're all pretty much stuck on one side. They're mostly stuck on this bottom side already. So I'm going to put some glue underneath to kind of hold that down. And that can be drying while I'm doing the other stuff to the remaining pages. So I'm sticking glue. And then what you just have to be careful with is check this every now and then. Make sure the glue's not going through and sticking and closing your pocket up. So you have to check it. Harley, it's so funny. They're just whining because she can't get to the kitten. Oh, the kitten just came out of her hiding place. Oh my gosh, I wish I could pull my camera down and show y'all this. It's really funny. So all of a sudden the cat takes off and Harley takes off after her. All right, so, and then I just want to make sure there was already some glue causing it to stick down. Just stick my hand in there every once in a while, make sure it's not sticking down. The other place I kind of want to put some glue is along these edges here. And that'll just kind of help keep things from kind of getting stuck in there unnecessarily, because I'm not using that for anything. And that'll just kind of keep that from interfering. That pen keeps sticking to my hand. So let's just do this here. I'll glue that down. Ah, coming out the top there. So now I gotta watch that because that might stick together. All right, where'd my pen go? Shoot, oh, it went rolling up there. So we gotta be careful, make sure that this up here doesn't stick together. Now you could leave this one like this if you want to. You kind of have two sections, or if you want to, you can glue it down to one side. I'll leave it for now. If it gets on my nerves and I need to glue it later, I can. Didn't put glue right here though, so let me do that. I think I did it on this one. I got that one glued together. So there's the opening side. And then here's the bottom of the bag. So, a couple other little spots I need to glue down that I didn't. So let me do that there. Let's do this right here. I just don't like to have a lot of odd little pieces sticking out. I got way too much glue that time. I'm going to try to see if I can. It's very wet. I'll have to stick something in there. Have I glued down my edges yet? I have. I've already glued down my edges. Get it right there. I'm just going to have to get a paper towel. Wipe my hands off on it. Yuck. Way too much glue. Okay. There we go. It's called wipe your hands off. And I need to remember, actually, when I'm doing this, I should have a wet cloth for my hands because who knows what they're barking at. It's just easier if you've got a wet cloth. All right, so the only other thing is I want to put a little glue right here so I can have a partial pocket right here. And maybe my glue won't come out 90 miles an hour, and I can do that. And try not to get too much. And then this will just be a smaller, kind of like a tuck pocket right there. All right, and then double check this, make sure it's not sticking together, and it is. I'm going to open it up before it starts sticking too much. And then, and this side, I missed gluing that right there. Wait a minute. No, wait a minute. This is where I decided not to glue, but I may glue that down anyway because I got a tear in my bag. I think I'm going to glue this down too. So there's just really going to be one pocket on this side. And you don't have to glue it except for on the edge. And I'm doing it, like I said, because there's a tear right there in the bag. It's right here. And that tear is likely just to get worse if you try to start putting things in there and trying to use both slots. It's probably just going to tear worse. So I'm going to do that. And then just do this one also. Hey, Brody, why were you in there barking, darling? You got Carly barking too. All right, and then I'm just going to set this aside for now and leave it. I probably don't have it folded where it needs to be folded. Just kind of leave it open and sitting over here off to the side so it can dry while I'm finishing folding up these other pages. And let me show y'all, while I have my trimmer up here, I can kind of show you a little tip to help folding. If you use your trimmer here, actually, let me turn it around this way so I can reach it better. This is closed. The arm is closed. There's a spot here. Let's see. That it's a stopper. So, whereas on this side, well, there's an opening down here at the bottom. So there's a stopper and there's a stopper. Okay, so you can lay your paper here in the corner and you can pull it over, and it's a way to help you fold your paper straight. Now I've seen this before, and I gotta lift this up though for the lift on my paper. I'd seen this before, and I had never tried it. And the other day, I was starting to have issues, so I decided to do this, and it works pretty good. And again, you get better at it as you do it a few times too. So, all right, I'm gonna do this one this way. But it is a neat little tool to help you get a little bit straighter folds. So anything, any kind of like trimmer, or I've seen people use their sorry, my brain, embossing? No. Y'all know what I'm talking about. When you put a crease in your page. Use those big boards that they have it on there, and you can do that on those too. I can't think my brain. Oh, okay. I constantly have brain fog, and I gotta get an appointment. Somebody and try to get it figured out. So now this one's torn. So these torn ones are sometimes a little bit harder to fold. And that's why this tip, when this actually comes in, this one might be too far gone for me to do it well. That's okay, but I wanted y'all to have a torn one so I could repair it. Okay, I'll get part of it folded. I'm going to turn it over and see if I can get this folded a little bit here. And it's probably not going to be as good, but that's okay. Some of this is going to get cut off. Okay, so Brody's laying in his little bed. So I don't know if... No, so Ivy usually will come in here and lay with him once he gets kind of settled and she's ready to go to sleep. She'll lay down with him. But with Harley here, I don't know if she will or not. She's trying to just kind of keep clear of Harley because Harley wants to play with her a lot, and she's not so sure about Harley. She's not sure how she feels about Harley yet. So I don't know if she'll try to lay there. Earlier when we were taking a nap in the den, I was tired and I fell asleep. She went and laid in the top of her little tree, the little climbing thing that she can play on. And she went and laid in that. And Harley and Brody were both sitting on the sofa with me. Okay, so let me see where I need to cut these. So these are all done at 5 3/4 tall. 5 3/4. So that's what I need to make all of these, is 5 3/4. I'm going to turn it back around this way. I have to use it this way so I can see. So from here to here is 5 3/4. So I have to turn it this way to cut it. And this paper, there's nothing wrong with this. It doesn't really matter which side I cut. So I'm going to cut it right here. And then these come in handy. You can fold them up and use little, make little writing pieces out of them. Or just use them for scrap if you want to check a color of something. Or you can use them if you're making some ephemera, like the little paper clip things. You can do that. So this one, since it only needs to be 5 3/4, I'm going to cut part of that off. Now I could leave it on the page and preserve it and have the, have it fixed, but I don't want to have to fix that big of a piece. I'll probably put some washi tape on this down here and the little bit up here that's still messed up. So, but it's not as big a piece that needs to be repaired. Okay, so 5 3/4. So I could probably cut more than one of these at a time. But I'm kind of, some of them I want to be cautious of where I'm cutting them. So that's kind of why I'm doing by myself. For instance, this one, this is part of what I like so much about this paper. It was from where my dad worked. I found this in his cabinet. So I'm trying to cut it so it's going to be a little bit more, stays completely in the page, or in the middle. So I took a little bit off of that side, and I'll take the rest now when I do it at 5 3/4. And so it still stays close to the center. The other thing that I forgot about, let me check my distance, because it seems like I cut a little bit off this too. So I wanted this to be about 5 going that way. And this is more like over 5 1/4. So I'm going to take, because I don't want to cut off that. So I'm going to cut off a little bit on this end. And again, it doesn't matter if the pages are not exactly the same size. They just need to fit. So I'm going to refold this one, and hopefully I've cut it down enough. And that way I didn't have to cut off the name of the place where my dad worked. Let's see if it's within the 5. Oh yeah, so I ended up cutting it down less than 5, so that's fine. It'll be fine. Okay. Then this one, 5 3/4 from top to bottom. And this is my coloring page. Again, I want to try not to cut off the writing here and here. And it's probably, yeah, it's going to have to be cut. I should have not folded this one yet either. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut the raggedy edge where I pulled it out of the book. I'm going to cut that down right there. And I'm going to cut this down a little. And it, like I said, it doesn't matter if I've cut it too much. It doesn't matter because your pages don't have to be the same size. So that's not that big a deal that I cut it. I just don't want to cut off any of my little words and stuff. So I'm cutting it intentionally to be where I want it to be. So it fits without cutting off any of the stuff that I want to keep. Now I could probably keep, maybe not that, but I could probably keep this size. I could probably keep those. This one I will keep. I could probably keep these for doing snippets or doing paper clip covers and stuff, but I've got so many, I'm going to go ahead and throw some away. I can't keep but so much of that stuff. So now, again, I need this to be 5 3/4, but I got to change my fold. So, redo my fold here. So from top to bottom, though, it needs to be 5 3/4. I've already cut all that I want to cut off down here because I was trying to keep the words from the Bible verse. So I'll need to cut off of here. So I am going to cut off part of my coloring page, but not a lot. Be like an inch down here that I'll lose on my coloring page. So you got that. And again, I can use this in a snippet or something. And then this direction, excuse me, needed to be about 5, and it's just a tiny bit over 5, so it's probably good. And then this one, it's 5 3/4 this direction. And this one, I think I'm going to take it off this side because the corner is torn up so badly. Take that off, 5 3/4 for the height. Losing some of my little coffee stain edge, but that's okay. Again, I'll save these pieces because I can. They're big enough that I can probably use them for something. Now, yeah, this is where I'm really going to lose some of my pages probably because I think I'm going to, I may refold it because I really like how the coffee stain looks on this edge. This edge is not as much coffee stained, so I may end up refolding this one. Let's look at this size again. I think I said 5 inches for this one on top. Yes, right at 5 inches. So I want to cut this down a little bit and refold it because not that much, Kim. Oh, wait, this is the side I'm cutting off. I want to keep the side, keep this. So like for instance, let me show you what I'm doing. So this is 5.5. I want it to be 5. This is just plain paper. I don't care. I can just lay it down here and cut off the edges and cut it down to 5 or less than 5 if I want to. And I haven't cut off anything I care about. But with ones that have special edges on them or pictures or writing, I'm trying to be a little bit more intentional about where I cut. So that was the deal. So let me see if I got it folded, if I've got it within the 5-inch or less range, if I cut off enough for when it's folded. Okay, it's borderline. I really need to cut off a tiny bit more. And again, I'm cutting it off on the edge that doesn't have the pretty coffee stain. So I'm going to just take a little bit more off. And this side's cool too. It's got some kind of like little spots, some little spotty sections on it. All right, let's refold you again. And this should be it because I took off plenty that time. Took off plenty. It's got some other little interesting spots right here where it was laying to dry or something and did something weird. So now I should be well under my 5 inches. Yeah, about somewhere between 4 3/4. All right, so that one's good. This one's good. Make sure they're all 5 inches or less. I'm going to just take a smidge off of this. So, I don't like the page, any of the edges sticking out too much. And it's just easier to do it now than after it's in your book. This one needs to go down a little bit. So they just need to be around 5 inches. And this one, 5 inches or less, a tiny bit less. So I try to do them either between 5 and 4 3/4, something like that. And that should be. And then when you fold them and you put them, because you tuck them inside of each other, the ones that are on the inside are going to be sticking out a little bit further than the ones on the outside when it's all done and said. I think I did this one already. No, I did not. Okay, so let's look at this one. The edges aren't as special. I don't think. Maybe this one's a little bit more, so I'll keep this edge. And I'll cut some off of this edge. I'll cut off about 3/4 of an inch. See if that helps. Just, again, it's just kind of hard to fold it with that tear right there. Let's see if that's going to be under 5. Yeah, still need to take a tiny bit off. Take a little bit more off. If I took the time to do the math, I could figure out how much to take off, but I know my brain's too dead right now to do that. I could do the math and figure it out. But this is easier. Okay, now we're a little bit under 5. That is perfect. And this one I need to take, and then again, this one doesn't matter that I just cut both edges off at the same time. There's nothing special about this piece of paper. It's just plain old white paper. It's probably sketch pad that I got from the Dollar Tree. Okay, so these should be good. Where's my paper bag? Let me make sure that had something laying on it. Make sure it's not getting stuck together. Okay, and it needs to be folded as well. Although it's not as big a deal. This could just be however I want to do it. It doesn't really matter if there's more sticking out. It's still kind of wet too, so I'm going to have to be careful that it doesn't stick together. I'll do it right there. Okay, I shouldn't need my trimmer anymore, so let me get rid of it. And what we're going to do, we want to reinforce the folds. So I know I had a I had one here just, what, a minute ago, a bone folder, but here's another. Oh, they're both where they're supposed to be. That's amazing. And if I wasn't concerned about my glue right now, I would take my bone folder over this whole thing and flatten it a little bit, but I'm just going to do where the fold is for now, because I'm still a little worried about that piece right there sticking together. All right, we just want to double check our folds. Make sure, even though this paper is really thin, I'm still going over it a couple times. I probably need to go ahead and repair this one before I stick it in my signature. So I'll set this one to the side. And I went ahead and put these two inside of each other. I'm going to take it back out. And so this piece of paper is a little bit thicker. It's just plain white. So it's either a piece of that, I had some, yeah, I think it is, because I can kind of see a watermark there. Some executive resume paper, which is really kind of funny, y'all, because my husband died 20 years ago, and it was his resume paper from back when he was changing jobs. So it's kind of funny that, as I said, you got to be surprised what you have laying around your house that you can use. It's kind of, you know, most of the money that I spent to start my junk journaling was on the tools that you need to put together a junk journal, like the hole punching thing and the owl, AWL, the owl, the threads, wax threads, the needles, you know, maybe spending some money on some binder clips, or oh, these little things, and some of the inks that I bought. I did invest in a corner chomper that can cut several layers of paper and do the corner rounding, but I got 40% off of it at Michael's when I bought it, so that was good. And I bought the other thing, the big bite thing too, that helps put holes in, like if you got really big thick binders and stuff. So at some point I gotta work on my learning curve. There's a learning curve to using that one. So right now it's actually easier to put my holes in my signatures by hand. See if I got any more with some raggedy edges. I think that was, might have been one more. Got a little bit of a raggedy edge. So if you got raggedy edges, I mean, raggedy edges actually are fine in junk journals. I don't know. It's bothering me just a little bit. So I'm using this emery board. I just bought a pack of emery boards like at Dollar Tree or something. I bought these a long time ago. That you can kind of go across your edges, and it helps take off that. It's more important in card making than it is in this. Some people, when they're, because, you know, they do more worn looks in these anyway, so it's not that big a deal. But for some reason, when I'm first putting mine together and trying to get everything even, those little worn edges get on my nerves. Now, the worn edges might come back, but after they're in the book, it doesn't bother me so much. It's just before I put them in the book, I'm trying to get everything to fit and look nice, and then it bothers me that it's kind of frayed on the edges. So anyway, there we go. There's that and that. Now I need to do some repair work on this. Now, there's all kinds of washi tape out there. This is the little box that I found online. It had several rolls, different sizes. I had this one out the other day, and I have put them in here, so I gotta figure out how to get that one back in. But I'm gonna use, for this, I'm trying to see which one I want to use. I think I'll use this one right here. There's different little designs, but they all look kind of vintagey. I got rid of so much stuff about a year and a half ago. I was cleaning up my craft room, and I decided I was going to get rid of almost everything that wasn't Stampin' Up! Because it was so hard trying to do, like when I did swaps or whatever, and you're not supposed to have anything on them that aren't Stampin' Up! And I was having so many issues with that, with keeping up with my cardstock, that which cardstock was Stampin' Up, which wasn't. So I got rid of a lot of stuff, which is fine. I mean, some of the stuff was probably 20 years and older that I had for that long. Because, I mean, I've been doing scrapbooking and cards for a long time. And one of my complaints was my stuff never matched. Well, I didn't know about Stampin' Up! Back then. Too bad, because I probably would have saved myself a lot of money. Because every time I saw pretty paper, I bought it because I love pretty paper. But then I'd get home and I wouldn't know what to do with it because I didn't have anything to match it. So anyway, lesson learned on that. So now the only, for the most part, the only cardstock that I'm buying that's not Stampin' Up! Is white or cream. And mainly because the Stampin' Up! Is thicker. It's a very good quality paper. And usually the stuff I buy at the craft store is not as good a quality. It's not as thick. It's not as, it's just not as good a quality. But it works better in these junk journals because it's not as thick. So I did buy some white paper. Actually, I already had some white paper that I was using. I was using them for the cards that we made because we were doing so many cards. I bought some of the white cardstock for the cards to take to the nursing homes. So I had a couple little packages of that. So that's what I'm using for junk journals and for cards that when I'm mass making cards take to the nursing homes. I just think that's a better way to go. But for my, my cards for my swaps or for the cards that I'm using for my classes, we are using still the Stampin' Up! Cardstock because it is just, the quality of it is just really, really good. There's definitely a difference in cardstocks. People will tell you different. They'll say, it's just cardstock, but it's not. Just trust me on that. Okay, so I've repaired both sides of those little tears. I don't think I needed to repair anything else. We'll see as I'm going through and putting it together. This is getting pretty dry now. I'll probably be safe to work it into my thing here. I'm going to try to figure out how I can fit all of these back in here again. I think maybe this. Yeah, I think I'm going to get it in here now. Get them all, oops, except for maybe that one. I don't know. Maybe this one's more narrow. And it can go over here, maybe. Maybe, possibly. I don't know. I was doing really good with keeping up so that they could be so that I could always fit them back in here, but I don't know. I don't know what I did wrong, but I've apparently done something wrong. Let's try this. Let's try this one here. Okay, that works. Now let's try this one. I can get it to... Sorry about that, y'all, but if I don't put them up, then the cat gets them. She likes to play with stuff like this. I feel like I'm still missing a roll in there somewhere, but maybe not. All right, so I can get that out of my way. And we're going to start putting our signature pieces. Actually, I need to color these. What color did I want to use? So I used green on this one. So this is one I'm not using necessarily a distressing colors. I wanted to use more color. I did green and a purple. Oh, I think I wanted to use this melon Mambo, I think is what I wanted to use. Yeah, pretty sure that's what I want to use. So I wonder if I've got I think I have a small dauber, a small dauber. It's not quite as quick as using the bigger ones, but I don't want to have to dig out and get a big one, so I might have just used this one. I probably should. This is going to take too long to do this. I have no idea what time. It's probably been an hour already. So y'all always feel free to fast forward through my videos. It will not hurt my feelings, but I would appreciate if you subscribe if you haven't. Subscribe to my page. Share it with friends and ask them to subscribe. If you feel like commenting, that would be wonderful as well. And I would just truly appreciate any of your support. Help me grow my page. Hoping to get at some point, get some more customers, buying things out of my Stampin' Up! Store. And I should have written down how to get to that too. But if you look me up as a demonstrator, you could type my name up, and I should come up when you type in my name on the Stampin' Up! Website. If you search for demonstrator, if you don't have one already, that would be awesome. And if you're ordering less than $150 and don't mind using my host code, there it is right there is my host code. It will be good through Sunday at least. It's probably going to be good for part of next week, the 1st of April. So while I'm coloring these things, I will go ahead and blab a little bit about the stuff that's going on with Stampin' Up! Right now. So we've got things that are going to be retiring. Some of them, the items out of the previous annual catalog will be retiring. Some items out of the more recent spring catalog will be retiring. And some of the items that are retiring will be on sale. And that will begin on April the 9th. So, I tell people, though, if there's something that they really, 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 really want, and you don't mind paying full price, you might want to go ahead and get it. Because some of those items, once they announce what's retiring, people go ahead and get them, even if they could wait till the 9th and maybe get it cheaper because they're afraid it's going to get gone. And it's true. We've had stuff disappear this year like crazy. I mean, I've only been doing Stampin' Up! A couple of years, but I have noticed from the first year till now how much stuff is running out. I mean, I don't know if it's just they've got that much more business, which is possible. Or what the deal is, but yeah, if there's something you see that's retiring and you know you want it, just go ahead and get it. Because if you wait till April the 9th, when some of the items, and not all the items are going to be on sale, when some of the items go on sale, you might miss out. I'm going to try to put those things on my Facebook page. Again, Kim's, Kim''S, Creations with a K, the and sign, and Card Ministry. Kim's Creations and Card Ministry on Facebook. So I will try to put items that are retiring. I've got a spreadsheet. I think I saved it in a PDF. I'm going to try to put that on my Facebook page. But you can also message me there. I think I have, yeah, my phone number there, 864-752-5688. You could send me a message if you have a question about any of the items in any of the catalogs. And I can look them up for you. Let's see, what was the other thing? So right now, the demonstrators are allowed to pre-order certain items from the new catalog that will be coming out in May. I believe May 2nd is the launch date. I will tell you there will be a price increase on a lot of items. So if you're running low on paper or ink or anything like that, go ahead and get it now on the old, not on the new stuff. Of course, you can't get the new stuff yet, but on the old stuff, if there's anything that you're running out of that you want to have more of, that you plan on getting more of, go ahead and get it before the prices go up. If you can. I mean, it's just is what it is. Prices of everything everywhere going up. Everybody's having to pick and choose. I mean, I'm having to pick and choose what I'm buying. I've cut back already, and now I'm really going to be cutting back even more. So that's okay. It's okay. I'll just have to make better use of my items, find more creative ways to use them, because I'm not going to be able to buy as many. I'll have to be a little bit more picky about what I buy on the new items. And it's so hard because there's so many new items that I want, but I'm just not going to be able to get them all. Let's see, what else is there? New paper pumpkin kit. Oh, I think I did have something I could show y'all about paper pumpkin. So the next 3 months, the April, May, and June kits, again, will have things coordinating from the regular offerings. And then there's also an extra item in the regular Stampin' Up! Store, but you have to be a current subscriber to get it. But there's something that you can, like a die cut that you can order that matches. It's smaller than our normal die cut set, so it's only $12. And I think it had a butterfly. It had a couple butterfly die cuts in it. But it will kind of coordinate with these next 3 sets that are coming up. And Paper Pumpkin, again, to get Paper Pumpkin, you need to subscribe. And to subscribe, you'll have to put your card in there. However, you can cancel at any time, or you can suspend your membership, your subscription at any time. But you have to do it each month. So, like if I cancel my subscription for April, which I plan to do, but I'm waiting until after I buy that little die cut that has the butterfly in it. And so I will go in and I will suspend mine. And so they won't automatically draft my account on April the 10th, like they usually do, because April the 10th is the last, or the 11th. The 10th is the last day you can sign up. And then on the 11th, they usually draft my account for my kit. I think Paper Pumpkin's going to be $25 a month. I think that's the new price. But still, that's got everything you need to make a nice little set of cards or whatever the item happens to be for the month. And usually with leftover items that you can use. And everything you need. You got the stamp set, the paper, the cards, the envelopes. Whatever you need is there. And so that's it. You make your cards and you're done. So everything's there that you need. So it's a great way if you don't want to have a bunch of stuff that you keep. It's also a great way to get started to see if it's something that you enjoy doing or not. So they give you a little bit of room to be creative if you have some of your own stuff that you can pull in and swap out and change. Especially if you have card bases like colored cardstock that matches the colors or just white, and you use your own cardstock, and then you can cut up your envelopes and use that paper. Sometimes you can make some things go a little further, and you can always make things go further by using the stamp set that comes with it. So anyway, subscribe by the 10th. The 10th is the last day to subscribe to get the kit for that month. And if you want to suspend it, you need to suspend it by the 10th. And so I'll be suspending mine before April the 10th. And then when the new one starts coming out for May, I'll have to go in there and suspend it again unless I want it. And then I will just leave it alone, and it'll draft and it'll send it to me. Although I've had my bank account hacked now twice in 1 week, so I have to go change my card numbers on everything. So that's fun. I'm glad I didn't change them all the early part of the week when it first got hacked. It's really weird that they were able to access my debit card information thus with the new number. That was kind of interesting. I didn't think they could get a new number from you, but apparently they can. You have that stuff on your phone and all that. I imagine it had something to do. I didn't realize I was on Apple Pay, but apparently I was, so that's probably how they got it. Just through the Apple Pay. But I think my son was here today, and I think we fixed it. I hope we did. Because that's annoying, because then they cut off my card and I don't have a debit card. And you don't have a way to go get cash if it's the weekend, because you don't have a debit card. So, luckily, I usually keep a little bit of cash available for stuff, so. And I was able to get to the bank this afternoon, so I had, some good for this weekend, unless it happens again over the weekend. Hopefully it won't. Almost done, y'all. So anyway, if you have any questions at all about the Stampin' Up! Products or things that you can buy or things that are on sale or how you can sign up, or if you want a catalog, please send me a text message and I can call you back. I can text you back and we can set up a time to talk. The new catalogs are going to be coming out tomorrow. I'm going on and gonna ask, I can ask the system, ask Stampin' Up! Through the system to send catalogs to people that I have on my list, and I have their address that I can send them a catalog, and then so you can get one at no cost, but you have to let me know. And please, at some point I would appreciate you ordering from me if you haven't already. So I do have people that have ordered from me or have been on my team, and I will plan on sending those people catalogs. So, but if you're new to me, but you think you're interested in ordering or joining, or if you live near me and want to come to classes or whatever, I will be glad to send you a catalog, but you got to let me know, and I need your address because I have to put it in the system so they can send it to you. So there's that. So, yeah, so this is not going to be vintage, obviously, although some of the stuff will be because I still have coffee dyed paper in here, so there will be some vintage stuff, but it's not going to be a strictly vintage book. And I actually have somebody in mind that I'm planning on giving this one to. So I've been working on some of the things I've been working on to go in this book for a specific person. I just haven't gotten it done yet. So that's good. But it's okay. I think this is the one I'm going to give them if I can get it finished in time. But I do like those little, that first one I showed y'all, this individual one made with an envelope. I really like that one for gifting to people because number one, it's not, it's just the one signature, so you can probably get it decorated pretty quickly and give it to somebody. And relatively low to no cost, depending on if you get any extra items to decorate it with or whatever. So the only extra money that I've spent that wasn't tools, the tools you need, but you're going to use them over and over and over again, was going to the thrift store to buy old books. Got a bargain on those, and I bought some lace and some pillowcases and things. I bought a few things like to make covers and stuff at the dollar store. I did buy a shirt from somebody that had a lot of lace on it, because cut it up and used the lace off of it. So I think that was probably my biggest expense. It was $3, but it's got some beautiful lace on it. At the Haven of Rest, when I bought my 10 books and my pillowcases and a couple other things there, I spent $2. So really, I'm spending very little money. I mean, the trash that I pull out of the trash can at work, I don't have to pay for that. So, and then paper that I find laying around my house. I have that already laying around my house. I might as well use it, right? Rather than it sitting there and going to waste. Which, I mean, I've had some of this paper sitting around my house for who knows how long. And just so I'd have another variety of paper, I did buy a little bit from the from Dollar Tree. I bought a sketch pad, and I bought what was the other one? A sketch pad. I don't know. Maybe it wasn't watercolor. I don't know. Drawing. I don't know. Just two different pads, and the paper is different. One of them's thinner than the other. But, to give different papers that have different feel to them in there. And then I get, like I said, I find scrap paper at work in a trash can. I'm like, that's a perfectly good piece of paper. I can use that. I'm taking it. Envelopes. I find the trash can. In the mail, I get envelopes that I'm not using, return envelopes. I haven't really used any of those yet because most of them have little windows in them, but I've got a stack of them to use because at some point I'm going to run out of my other envelopes, and I'll be using those. And then trying to think, what else was it? Oh, so when you get in the mail, and this is the time of year you're going to start getting all that political mail, and those are usually got a little bit of weight to them, a little bit thicker. So those come in handy for making pockets or bookmarks or things like that. And you just cover them with paper, book paper or scrapbook designer paper or something like that. You can stamp on them. You can leave them as journal pages or whatever. And those don't cost me anything. They're just getting mailed to me, and they're going to go in the trash, so I can use them. And then at work, I find stuff like that too. They get flyers in the mail all the time. And, the places will send them to our work. They'll send 20 of the same flyer, and we, maybe need 2 of them. And so they end up in the trash can. So I'm like, oop, there they are. So I found some in the trash can today, and I grabbed a couple that I saw in the trash today. So I'm using a lot of trash, and that's the point. Let's make use of things that we have available and not spend so much money on stuff, and then you're not having so much waste and things like that too. So there's that. How do I want to do this? I might want to try this way. yeah, I'm going to end up turning that one that way. And I got this. I'm trying to mix up pages a little bit. I didn't do this little spot right here. Make sure I got the right color ink here. Yeah. I just realized I missed one side of this paper. And I mean, this is just not, if you decide to put nothing on a page because you want to have more pages that people can write on, it's just kind of nice to have a little touch of color around the edges. Now, for me to leave a completely blank page is going to be, let me just say, it's probably not going to be likely that I'm going to leave a completely blank page because I just like to decorate so much. So, I'm just saying. Okay, this will work. Now, there we go. And then this one will be in my inside piece. Actually, I don't want that to be my inside piece because of the tear. I'll switch it out with this piece of the resume paper. So what you want to do, because we're going to be, this is the last signature for this. And it's going to be the first one I put in my book. So what you kind of want to do, you want to make sure that you're getting these squished in there good together. They're lined up good. So I usually kind of get my bone folder and I do this again. Just, you know, I go over it again. Make sure it's in there real good. Make sure they're squished in there together good. Then I'm going to add my third piece. And I'm going to do it again. Get it in there real good. And just do this again. Believe it or not, it helps. It's kind of crazy. You're like, well, I've already done that. But it does. It helps. And then we'll put the bag in. Yeah, I think I'll do it like that. And yep, I'll just leave it towards the bottom. Now, if you do have pages that are kind of different sizes and stuff, you want to strategically place them so that at least you can get two of your two holes in it when you're sewing it into your book. So this one shouldn't be an issue because it's kind of a, you know, the pages are not huge. They're not that long or anything. So shouldn't be an issue at all. And we're almost ready to put this one in the book, y'all. And the other ones are ready. I just need to probably make sure that they're, just double check that they're lined up good before I sew them in. So everything's ready to go in this book. So it will not take long now. I'm sorry about the time. Again, like you can fast forward through a lot of this. I should have said that at the beginning. So if you do tell friends to sign up and come look, just tell them, just fast forward until you see what you want to see. You know, skip through the stuff like doing the pages. But since, you know, I might get people that haven't seen do it before, I do want to try to show different steps, and that somebody might not really know what I did. So that's why I did pretty much this whole signature. But the other two are ready to go. So I did do that. I did make it so that you didn't have to watch me ink every signature and cut the paper for every signature. But I did want you to see me do it for the one, so you would know what went into it. It is a little time consuming, but very inexpensive. So there you go. Inexpensive. And I mean, this is a great creative outlet because there's no rules. You can do what you want to do. You can use notebook paper and stuff too. I didn't pull notebook paper into this particular journal, but I have used notebook paper, and it is pretty thin compared to some of the other papers. So you probably don't want to put a lot on those pages other than stamping. So that's something too, when you're thinking about, and I showed you how thick mine was, when you're thinking about putting stuff in there, stamps take up no space. So that's always a good option, is to stamp or stencil your page. You can stencil on pages or stamp on pages, and or doodle. There's so many things that you can do that are not going to take up not going to add any bulk to your pages. So you might just put bulk on every 2 pages or every 3 pages, and then the rest of the pages you're going to leave plain, or decorate with something that doesn't bulk it up. Use thin book page papers is good. So yeah, when I did that other journal that's so thick, a lot of my paper, I did use a good bit of cardstock in there. So that's part of my issue, is I used probably more cardstock than I needed to. And so if you don't do that, that would be a good idea. All right, so now we're going to sew these in, but there's like, make sure I don't know if I have a front or a back to this. So I'm just kind of, since I haven't decorated yet, I wasn't sure. I think it's this though. There was something to do with, I left more space, and I think it was this one. So I wanted that to be the back. Yeah, that's one. And I should have covered this because you can see through my pillowcase, and you can see the duct tape. But I will find another way to cover that up when I decorate. And it's probably a good idea to decorate this too, maybe possibly before you put your signature in there. But that's okay. I'm going to do it this way. I do need a scrap of paper, so let me find one of those that I just took out. I think this one will work. Okay, so I'm going to make it a little bit longer. I think this is 6 inches from top to bottom. It is pretty much 6 inches. So I'm going to cut my paper here. At 6. I don't know if I'm down. Y'all should be able to see that. That looks like it's in my page. There we go. Yep. Okay, now, I didn't figure this out until later. This is this one's a little bit thicker, so it wouldn't be a bad idea to use a thicker paper too, so it doesn't tear on you. This is a template. You're not going to use it for anything. But this is how long? I mean, how wide? I need it to be at least as wide as my book here, which is 2. I might cut it down to 2, actually. That'll be easier for me to determine where I want to crease it. Okay. Actually, it doesn't matter. All right, so I'm going to fold this in half. Fold her in half. Try to. It might not be perfectly straight, but I think it's pretty close. Okay, fold it in half. Now, Okay, so that's right here. Now, I'm going to move this a 1/4 of an inch, or you can, or just whatever distance you want to move it. Actually, I think I'm going to move it a centimeter. I'm going to move my line. No, I can't see it down there. I can only see my 1/4 inches. I'm going to move it over a 1/4 of an inch. So my fold is on the 1/4 of an inch right here. Okay. And I'm going to scoring board. That was the word I was looking for earlier. Scoring boards. I'm going to score it there. Don't push too hard if you're not using cardstock, because it might tear, which mine almost did. And then I'm going to move it a 1/4 inch the other way. So I'm putting score lines. I put one, I folded the middle, and then I'm going out a 1/4 of an inch on each side of it. I kind of feel like that's not enough. I don't think it is, actually. I might go out. That's really not enough. I need to go out further. So from my 1/2 inch, I think I'm going to, my center, I think I'm going to go out a 1/2 inch. So I'm going to take my center line and move it to the 1/2 inch mark. Center line on the 1/2 inch. And now I'm going to score. And then I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to come back. There's my center line. I'll move it out a 1/2 inch this direction. And score it. There you go. And what else I'm going to do here, because I've got so many lines now. I'm going to get my ruler. I'm going to draw my lines so I can see them better. Okay, so I got my center line here. Okay, well, that did not come through. That's very weird. I must have been on the ruler a little bit. Let's try this again. All right. Is that my center? Okay, that worked that time. And then I'm going to come out to my 1/2 inch. And I'll fold it. Fold it there. And we'll come to the inside of it and do a line here. And I'll fold my other 1/2 inch. To the inside again. Okay. Come on, Kim. Do a line there. Okay, there. So this is going to help me keep my things lined up. All right. And then I'm going to lay it here and put it in the center of my book cover here. In the center of my book cover, as close to the center as I can get it. Which is pretty good right there. That should be about right. Okay. So I want to put a dot in the middle. And I'll go in about this much. Ooh, I've got on my thing right there. Put a dot here. and about an inch on this side. And we'll put it here. I just eyeball mine. Some people are real meticulous and they make sure they're an inch in or whatever. Somewhere between a half an inch and an inch from the edge, and then close to the middle. Let's see, this is 6 inches. I put that almost right at the 3. That's a little over 1. And that one's right at about an inch from the edge. So I did pretty good. Now, so what I'm going to do now is take my ruler. I will try to do these straight as possible. I'll line that up so that's straight. My paper, use my grid to make sure my paper's straight. And then looking at my ruler lined up on my grid line. So I want to put a hole here and a hole here. So a dot and a dot. And there's my dot there. We're going to put a dot right here and a dot right here. So these are going to be lined up like that. And then my last one is right there. And so I need to put one here and one here. So put a dot here and a dot here. So those are pretty spaced out about right and even and whatnot. Okay. So now you need a book or some kind of surface that you can use. Oh, that's attractive. Let me just not leave that there. That's not a whole lot better. Okay, we can tolerate that one. Okay, so what you're going to do, this is folded. We're going to need this too. And I think what I'll do, again, oops, sorry. Gosh, did I mess up my camera? I hit it with my head. Sorry, y'all. Okay, so I want this again. I want it to be centered as well as I can with my spine here. So I think what I'm going to do is get a little piece of tape. There's my tape. I can't remember what I did with it. Come on. Well, I don't know where the other two creatures are. I just have Brody in here. The other two must be out. Oh, well, there's the kitty. I don't know if she just jumped up there right when I happened to say something. She's in a box up here on the table next to me. Harley's probably out in the den. So I told my son if it didn't work out for him to take his dog, he was going to go see his girlfriend. And I said, I can keep her, but like I said, they're still getting used to each other here. Is that what I wanted to do? That's not what I wanted to do. Y'all, I'm sorry. It's getting late and my brain is on. I don't know what my brain's on. Fog. Okay, I need to use my back dot first. Okay, so this is what I'm doing. I just remembered. Okay. I need it to be in here, to go in here. And actually, I probably did need to go ahead and do that while I had it in there, but I didn't, so that's okay. I'll just go ahead and use this. I'm going to line the dot, this dot, into my page, okay, because That's the one. That's the one I need right now into this line of dots is the ones I need. Let me get out my owl. I thought I had it out, but I didn't. Come here. There it is. Okay. And it comes with a little protective thing on it, and I'm amazed that I haven't lost it yet. Okay. Stick that down in there. Got it lined up. Centered about right. And you're going to stick that there. And you're going to have this. You got this down into the book. And you're going to push that through. And there it is. Comes out right in the spot that it's supposed to. I'm going to leave that one there. I'm going to come over here and do this one. Now I should have my needle ready to go, but I don't. Let's see if that one went straight through. Did good. And then we'll do this one. Let's see, I should have left this on the book a minute ago because the next thing I would... Okay, there we go. They're all good. Probably should have ran it in there a little deeper to get my holes a little bigger. So I'm going to go back through and make my holes a little bigger because that's going to be a little small to get a double layer of stuff through there. Okay, now let's do this again because I do need to do what I was doing here. I'm going to look again because I want to try to get the center in the center. That looks to be about the center. Again, let's do this again. Okay, so I need to do all 9 holes, okay, through this. And you need something that you're not going to go through and get it on your table or whatever. So we'll use the book. Let's see if I can get it there again. Okay. And you're going to want to kind of go through because you got to get the needle through there twice. So I may keep this little template this time. I haven't kept in my other ones, but I do have a lot of these same cereal boxes. And so it's a good chance see, I probably didn't. I probably need to run those through again. Good chance that I'll be making more journals out of those cereal boxes. And now I already have a template, and I can just use this same template over and over again. So this was the cereal box. This is, what are they called? This is cereal my mom eats. So my cereal box is a little bigger. I haven't made one with it yet. I eat the family size Cheerios. I use that Crunch, Cinnamon Crunch brand of the Cheerios. And my box is a little bigger. So I'll have to play with it and see what size journal I can get out of it. So do be careful when you're pushing it through a little deeper because you don't want to get your hand or anywhere else for that matter. But that's pretty good. I haven't done this one yet. And actually, I think I did this upside down. But this is close. I can make the adjustment. We're good. I'm not concerned about it, really. Did I do that one yet? Nope. So this is the last row. Last row. Yeah, the big bite would be nice. to be able to use that, but I haven't learned how to use it well enough yet because I couldn't line it up good. I haven't figured out a good way to line it up because I just can't see well enough to do it. But once I get it figured out, we'll mark it or something so we can see it. All right, so a couple of the holes are a little hard to see. I might better do that one again because that's very, just need to push it through a little better. There we go. Got it up there this time. Yeah, hopefully those are all okay. All right, so this one's ready to go. And that's the back. So I need to take this off now because it's a template. It's not staying in here. It's going to come off. Get the piece of tape off. Okay. But I need that to do the other two signatures. So I'm setting it to the side there. All right. And I've already got the holes punched in it, so that's good. So I just need some thread. I'm going to set this aside. Got thread. I think I'm going to use the white. I'm going to use my white thread. Now, this is what I've heard, but I found that didn't quite work. And maybe it's, on this one it didn't work. And maybe it's because it's so much longer. It's probably fine for this one. But what I've heard is you measure 3, and that should be enough. But I'm doubling my thread, so I've been doing 6. Got caught on my ruler there. And because with this one was so much longer, I actually did more than, I made it more than that. So I'd rather have too much than not enough. And the thread, where all my scissors have gotten to, the thread is relatively inexpensive. So, my good scissors, I don't know where they are. I'm supposed to have 2 good scissors in this little thing. These that I just used are not, they're old and have been used on all kinds of stuff, so they're not as good. Oh, there's the little thing that goes on my owl. Let me stick it back on there. It just kind of helps you get from getting poked because these things are really sharp. Alrighty. I need a needle. Hang on. And I can sew one of these in. Just trying to see if there's one in my I bought myself a, oh shoot, can't think of the name of it. God. A thing to stick needles in, a pin cushion. So I was looking to see if it was over there, but I had put it in this and stuck it in my little bag over here. So this is the one I've been using. And it's got a nice big eye, so even somebody as blind as me doesn't have too much trouble threading my needle. Look, I say that, and now I'm going to have trouble with it. Come on, go through. I had it there, but it was like getting stuck. This is waxed thread. So like if you want to search for this, you look for bookbinding waxed thread. That's how I found it on Amazon. There was a really neat little bookbinding kit for junk journals that I paid like $7 for. It came with a few needles. It came with some threads. It came with some little snipper thingies. It came with a little tiny ruler. Came with some binder clips, things that you need to put together. So it was pretty cool. The things that it came with, like it came with 2 of these, and a little tiny ruler, which is nice when you're limited on space. It came with all that stuff, and it was like less than $7, so it's pretty cool. I'm going to look again and find the back. All right, this is the back. So we're going to put the back signature in first. Now I got to make sure I got the top. I forgot to mark the top. And basically my top depends on this Bible verse because I want it in there right side up. And so the other thing, except that when I did this, I did it wrong. So guess what? I'm going to make this the back now because I need to get my holes lined up right. So that's not that big a deal though. All right, so this is still the top. And this is the back one. So for whatever reason, whatever I learned from whomever was to do your back one first. Okay, and wherever you start your thread is where your thread's going to end up. So I'm going to put my back one, I think the middle one I'm going to start from the outside, but the back one and the front one I'm starting from the inside. And what I want to do too to help hold this steady is to put these binder clips on the journal cover and the paper to kind of hold it in place a little bit better. There we go. Maybe I'll put one on this side. Just kind of, I need to get some more of these big binder clips. Ooh, that one's tight. Okay. So I'm going to start by going through the middle hole. And there, it worked. And pull my thread pretty far through, but I'm going to leave some so I don't, lose it. And kind of hold on to it there. All right, so this is the top. So now I'm going to go through the top hole. And get it to come through the right spot. Is it going through the right spot? I think so. Did I do that hole? I thought I did. I must have not gone through it deep enough. Okay, there it is. Coming up through here. And I'm going to move that over there. Now I'm going to go across the center and go to the bottom. And go into the bottom hole. Hopefully it's going to come in the right spot back here. Can do this. And I can kind of cheat and find it back here. Here we go. Here we go. Come back through. Kind of pull it a little bit snug. All right. So I've got my tails over here. Okay, and I'm checking. I can pull both sides to make sure it's pretty snug. Okay, and then I'm back here, and I got to come back up through the middle. But I want to try not to split this string, which is why I wanted my holes a little bigger, especially that middle one. And I want to come back up on this side. the other side, so that there's strings on this side of the center, and then there'll be strings on the other side of the center. So hopefully I can get this to do what I want it to do. So I'm kind of trying to put it in where it's going in this other side of those. Because we're going to come back up through the middle. Oh, go on through. It's not going through. Let's try again. We can pull it tight again once we get it in. Get all of them in. Okay. Go on through. Okay. Same hole for to come back up through. Oh, is it coming? I think it is. It might be splitting that string though, that thread. Let me try to pull this over. Let's try that again. Pull this over out of the way. There. Oh. Oh, I can't see. Let me get my magnifying glass. Kind of feel like almost wondering if I made a second hole. I don't know, but I think it's okay. All right. Now I need to pull it tight because there's obviously some loose strings here. Figure out which ones are loose. Do it from this one. There we go. It was that one. Okay. So that should be, it's pretty snug. And then when you tie this off, I usually do I'm left-handed, so I usually start with my left over my right. So you go left over right, and then right over left, or whichever way you do it, just rotate it. So left over right, right over left for me, or if you do it the other way, you would do the right first, but I do left first, and I usually do a second one. So there we go. So there's the third signature, and I'm gonna leave that one. I'm gonna cut my needle. I'm gonna leave the string long for now because I don't know what I'm gonna do with it. I may use it for something, I don't know. All right, so take the clips off, take these clips off, and let's see how it looks. Okay. And there's one signature. All right, and then you do, oh, this is the back. Okay. And then you do what they call, you train your pages. So the thing that you would do is like, you go through here and you just kind of make sure that they're all laying flat. So, and just go through each page. Push your little seams down. As you get more towards the center of the signature, they lay flat better. And here's our center. And then they'll be poofed up more on this side now, but not so much, especially at first. But okay, and I don't want to keep y'all any longer. This has already gone way too long. So like I said, you can come. We're going to do the same thing with the other two signatures. The only thing is that the signature that I'm doing next is the middle one. I'm going to start my thread on this side because I want my leftover thread to be over here on the outside instead of the inside. So that's the only thing that's going to be different. So you start in the center, then you go to the top, then you go to the bottom, and then you come back through the center that you've already been through. And then you tie it off right over left, left over right, or vice versa. See, so it's sticking up a little bit more on this side. So you just kind of flatten it out so that you can get them to lay flat as best as possible. Okay. And then I'm going to be working on some decoration for this, and I'm going to be working on some, well, I got to get the other two signatures in, but I'm going to work on some decoration, some things to do with this one, because this one I'm going to be giving away, and the cover, and I hadn't decided yet what I'm going to do on my cover, but I'll come back and show it to you again. And I'll be back to make some Easter cards. Let me see what time it is. Okay. I don't want to stay up too late. All right, there we go. I appreciate your time so much. Again, just message me if you have any questions, and I'll call you back. And I hope everybody has a blessed weekend. If I don't get back on to see you again this weekend, take care. Have a great holiday weekend for those of you that celebrate Easter, whether you do it religious or secular. I hope you have a great weekend. Take care and God bless. Good night.